Hope you're all doing very well in association with Elika Formation, tailor-made solutions for your business. Okay, so it's Friday morning and we're here to bring you what we can to help you improve in your English, specifically your business English. Let's be a bit professional here and make sure that my volume is off. Okay, so what am I going to talk to you about this morning? So let's have a look. I'm going to talk to you about the wrap up from the last couple of days, what's been happening at the end of our working days. We're going to look at what's been going on while we were sleeping. We're going to look at the mastering of delegating, and that is an interview with Mario Götze. Do you remember who he was? So Mario Götze scored the winning goal for Germany in I can't remember which World Cup it was, but anyway, he scored the winning goal against Argentina, I believe. An amazing goal, took it on his chest, swiveled, great goal. We're going to be looking at a video from him about the mastering delegating, okay, telling people to do specific things. We're going to look at our word of the day, idiom of the day, phrasal verb of the day. We're going to look at specifically travel idioms as well. And in between, we'll just be having little bits of conversation. It is morning coffee with me, James O Reilly. Next week, I'm going to be changing the time a little bit, going to move it into more of the early afternoon during the week. So just what I'll do is I'll put up an advertisement for that on LinkedIn. And we'll just move it towards that time, see how it goes, and see if it works. Okay, so first things first, let's get our coffee going. I hope you have yours ready. Do any of you remember the different types of ways to drink? So the rude way is to slurp. Slurping is rude, or sometimes called calling your coffee up to you. Don't call your coffee up to you. Don't slurp your tea. Don't slurp your coffee. The other one is to sip. To sip is take a little taste, just a little bit, have a sip. And when you're really thirsty and you finish doing some exercise and you're really thirsty and you go, oh, this is called gulping. Gulping. It's almost like onomatopoeic or onomatopoeic. It's because you can hear the gulp. It's called gulping. All right. I'm going to change over in a second, and I think we're going to look at the first wrap-up news. Let me just make this bigger for the screen. Oh, I can make it bigger in a second. Let me move across for you guys. There we go. And I think what I also need to do is, of course, make myself a little bit smaller here, because if I don't, you won't be able to see. I'll be too big. So let's go over, make our screen bigger. Okay, so this is in relation to banking. Credit Suisse facing 1.5 billion loss after clients withdraw assets. Wealthy clients of Credit Suisse have withdrawn around 10% of assets since the start of October. The bank has projected a loss of Swiss francs 1.5 billion Swiss francs. That is 1.5 billion in euro. So it's exactly the same. The exchange rate. Credit Suisse is holding an emergency shareholder meeting to seek approval for a 4 billion Swiss franc capital raise to help cover a restructure, the Financial Times reports. Yeah, it's not often we see a Swiss bank in trouble. We normally think of Swiss banks to be quite stable. Let's move over to the next one. In relation to the World Cup, German supermarket ends football team sponsorship. What happened here? German supermarket chain Rewe has ended a sponsorship agreement with the German Football Association. German footballers at the World Cup will no longer wear a One Love armband promoting diversity after FIFA said it would issue yellow cards to those doing so. Ruiz said it stands up for diversity. Okay, so this is in relation to Qatar. Qatar is not tolerant of homosexuals. It is not diverse. And a lot of the football teams wanted to wear what we can see in the photo is called an armband. So normally you have the captain's armband. And here it's wearing what it's called the One Love armband, which is promoting diversity and so on. And it's been in the news with some teams and so on wanting to wear this, wanting to promote diversity. But of course, the Qatari officials, they're not tolerant of this type of thing, and they want to. Well, it's part of FIFA as well, which is the football. They don't want to get political when it doesn't suit them. If it's political when it suits them, and when it doesn't suit them or when they don't like it, it's not. So this supermarket chain that I never heard of is cutting ties with the German football team. Who knows? This German retail company, it's a good marketing stunt, because I never heard of them, but now I've heard of them, and now I'm telling you, and then we hear about this, and it's good news for Rue, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So good that it stands up for diversity, but I'd also like to know if this is really a publicity stunt. We don't know who to believe nowadays, but I thought it was quite hilarious. One of the English football captain, Harry Kane, wanted to wear the armband, but they wouldn't let him, or he'd get a yellow card. So in a quiet kind of protest, he wore his Rolex watch has a kind of rainbow bezel. Bezel is the kind of turning thing, and the watch cost over £5,000, I believe, and that was his protest, wearing kind of colours on his Rolex watch. So good for you, Harry Kane, the multi-millionaire Harry Kane, standing up for diversity. Good man, but not wearing the armband to get a yellow card. On to space now. European Space Agency selects new diverse team of astronauts. Yeah, I saw this yesterday. I saw the two Spanish people. The European Space Agency has chosen 17 new astronauts from 22,500 applicants. Almost half of the new recruits are women, and a British former Paralympic sprinter, John McFall, hopes to be the first person with a disability in space. Okay, the recruits are from across Europe, including Italy, France, and Germany, and Spain, I believe. 2 people from Spain I saw in the newspaper yesterday. Okay, great. I'm actually reading a book at the moment called The Right Stuff, and it's about the first Americans going into space and how they were American fighter pilots, and really how, as an astronaut, you're really not in control of the shuttle, of the rocket. You're just basically a guinea pig in a shuttle, because everything is controlled from ground control. So it was kind of thought that once the people realized, because the first space flight from the United States and from Russia were dogs and monkeys, and they essentially, everything went fine, and then they sent the humans up. So interesting book. One of the books you will see in English that comes up as books to read before you die, or these books you must read. So yeah, it is an interesting read actually, and I think they've done a few films as well. That's the European Space Agency. Okay, excellent stuff. And we're going on now to idea of the day over here. Workplaces and function around parenting duties. Interesting, right? Okay, you see the father there with his child behind him. He's working away. Working while having parenting responsibilities shows that progress on a project can come at any time, and that after-work social events don't suit everyone, writes Lottie Unwin. After work socials aren't fun for everyone. For my team, 6 p.m. beers means missing bath time and putting pressure on partners. A red flag I see a lot. A culture that isn't mindful of parental responsibilities. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. In one way, it's difficult to balance because you might be new at a company, or you might be trying to impress, you might be trying to network, and I think um, after work social events can be very important to start networking, but they also can be. I agree with what this person is saying, is that you will miss your children's bath time, that is possible, or feeding time. You will miss putting them to bed. You will be putting pressure on your partner. That is true. So you need to reach compromise in your relationship, depending on how long you've been in the company, is how important these social events are, because yeah, it's very easy to kind of say, come on, as a manager, come on, we'll go for some social beers. It's a common thing to do. So how do you guys feel about that? What's your opinion? Is it important to network after work, which I think is quite important? I definitely do think it's a different environment. It's a good way to kind of, mix around with other people, but not perhaps to make a habit of it, because as you can see, the young girl there, she's going to be in bed before you get home, and your personal time with the children. But sometimes it has to be sacrificed. Sacrifice is when you do one thing in case of another. It's just the way it is. I would say meet halfway sometimes. What does she say? After work social funds aren't fun for everyone. Yeah, it's a difficult situation. It's a difficult situation because sometimes people don't understand or know that you have responsibilities at home as well. Interesting, like it. Okay, today's debate: a bad manager is a result of bad culture. This is by Steve Wright. He's a sales and people manager. 5 signs you are a bad manager. Okay, start the day knowing you're a bad manager. Here we go. You are not given enough resources to manage others. You're told your job is to coordinate, not lead. You never had a good manager yourself. You are afraid of your own job security. Your work is taken for granted. To take for granted is like, yeah, we just, whatever you do, we just assume you can do that anyway. A bad manager is a product of bad culture. If you see these signs in you or your manager, it's time to check in with yourself. Okay, that's quite interesting. We did in our last stream, we talked about a good manager, or a managing versus leading, and of course leading being more desirable. So again, you're told your job is to coordinate, not lead. You never had a good manager yourself. You are afraid of your own job security. Your work is taken for granted. Okay. There's lots of stuff out there to read upon. There's also lots of videos that can help you on YouTube to be a better manager, give you some tips and tricks. Get on there for 5 minutes a day, get on for 10 minutes a day, and make yourself a better manager. You will enjoy yourself more and you will be more appreciated. You owe it to yourself. Why not? Okay, that's good. That was that. And then we wanted to look at the rest of them. Down here we go. Energy. I'm going to be looking at some vocabulary here as well. Energy. Employees told to work from home to save power. Okay, so now you're being sent home, which is good. Okay, European workers are being asked to work from home to ease employers' energy costs. Spanish civic offices are closing up to 3 days a week, and in Italy, Telecoms Italia wants employees to work from home 1 day a week. Irish civil servants have been told they cannot bring heaters or kettles to the office. Ah, okay. Okay, yeah. Kettle is a very important piece of equipment in the UK and Ireland because we drink tea, so we need boiling water. Um, and as in the case of me having this Americano, this is the common drinking vessel, which is a mug, and it's quite big. So people will be boiling the kettle a lot. Um, and I even spoke about it here with my wife. We boil the kettle a lot during the day. I think it takes a lot of power. So the office is being clever. Let's have some coffee. Ah, I just need that in the morning. Um, don't bring heaters. Heaters are to make you warm. Yes, you put them on the ground, like a radiator or a heater. I think I have one. I have one over by the window there. Um, well, I think for some people they're happy to work from home. But the result of working from home is now we are paying for the electricity. Unless, of course, you are subsidized by your company. Go and ask for a subsidy. See if they'll give it to you. Don't say I told you. Okay, careers. EasyJet looking for over 45s. Well, almost. I'm almost 45. Over 45s to join cabin crew. British airline EasyJet is targeting empty nesters over the age of 45 to join their staff. Empty nesters. Okay, let me break this down and explain to you what an empty nester is. When you have chicks in a nest is un nido for birds, right? It's a nest. And then when the birds are in the nest and you feed them and they get bigger and bigger and bigger, they leave the nest. And now you have an empty nest, just the parents. And the nickname for these parents, when the children have left home, is empty nesters. Generally, when will I be an empty nester? When I'm about 55. If I'm lucky. If I'm lucky. So over the age of 45 to join the carrier, which is EasyJet, the airline carrier, had a 27% increase in cabin crew over 45 in the past 4 years and 30% more over 60s in the past year. In an EasyJet survey, 78% of respondents over 45 said they wanted a new challenge after their children move out. Yes, I can imagine when you have children, your life takes a different course. You're living for your children. I have 2 young children at the moment, and they have an effect on your life. And just talking with my wife last night, we're like, oh yeah, when they leave, when we're older, we'll do this, we'll do that. So absolutely do agree that it's not a problem. Love having children, thinks it's the greatest thing ever. But you also look forward to, yeah, I totally agree. You'll want a new challenge when your children leave. For example, I can if I want, but moving to a different country would now involve, if it's not an English country, it would involve a new language, new schools, new friends, and a lot of parents don't want to do this. So you find yourself, if you were single and I live in Spain, I can go anywhere I want in the world, but because the kids are here and in school, I need to stay. I need to think about, put them first. Okay. But if I got a good offer, I'd just go. I wouldn't care. So anyway, so if anyone wants to give me a fantastic offer and I'm going to move somewhere else, I'll do it. Don't worry. But I really do. I enjoy working from home, to be honest. I do enjoy working remotely. The idea of being in the office and with the colleagues and so on, I don't miss it, to be honest. Personally, I can handle not being in the office. Careers. How to decide if you want to quit your job? Some uncertainty in a new job is to the norm. But as time passes, you may not like what you chose. Annie Duke author of a new book about quitting, advises making a list of deal breakers in advance and reviewing it when you want to quit. So deal breakers are the things that when the things you don't like and you are not going to continue with something if these things happen. So before you get a job, you could make a list, and you're going to have an interview, and you could make a list of things. And one of the deal breakers is working from home. If the new job says, if you want to work from home and the new job says you need to be in the office, well, then it's a deal breaker because you're not going to do it. You're one of your deal breakers is, I have to work from home. That's an easy way to explain. Another thing could be no bonuses, the compensation package, no perks, no company car, not paying for your internet. Let's make a list of deal breakers. Not paying for my food if I'm in the office. Not paying for my travel. Not having a company car. Not getting a bonus above a certain percent at the end of the year. Things like that could be for you a deal breaker. So make your list in advance and then review it when you want to quit. And if you find yourself going, yeah, tick, tick, tick. She also advises speaking with a friend, mentor, or therapist to help make the decision. Yes, I would agree with that. Nowadays, back 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you were speaking to someone professionally, it was because you felt there was something wrong with you, or people thought there was something wrong with you. Now it's just de rigueur. It's normal. If you're lucky enough to have a mentor in work, that's great. You can run things by that person. Run things by is to say it to them and let them know. Kind of get their opinion on something. Let me run this by you. See what you think. Give me some advice. Yep, great. I like it. Make the list. Unfortunately, for most people, it's all about the money. We have to pay the bills at the end of the day. But if you can, make your list of deal breakers. Idea of the day: why it's important to learn how to uncollaborate. It's important to collaborate, but learning to uncollaborate or working around people can help organizations avoid a culture of dependency. Or working around, but learning to uncollaborate or working around people can help organizations avoid a culture of dependency. Okay. Learning to uncollaborate or working around people. So learning not to be around people. This is how companies slow down. The default mode is dependency. Don't slow down to merge, speed up and take a different path forward. The way to move quicker is to move independently. Often you can get more things done working independently, not having to consult people, depend on people, ask people. Working in a team, it's good to work in a team for specific things, but sometimes working on your own can give you that push for independence and get things done quicker. Okay. Today's debate. Should you take a job for the salary alone? And a lot of people do, don't lie. If I'm going to offer you 30% more to work for worse conditions, you'll probably take it. Come on, let me know. Ali Risakos, founder of Ali Risakos Coaching. Don't get seduced by a fancy title and dollars. Salary matters, but so does leaders that have your back, who support you. They have your back, they support you. Opportunity and encouragement for growth. Realistic workload and quotas. Safety to fail and recover. Investment in employees. Personal development. Work that has meaning for you. Caring and supportive teammates. Being unhappy for 8 hours a day just isn't worth it. I agree. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree. You want to go to work. You want to be happy in your work. You want to be happy. But if you're working for lots of money, just look for work for that lots of money, and then find another job where you can get even more money, and look for those things. So you want leaders who support you, opportunity and encouragement for growth. Yeah, it's really important that you think that you can grow within a company, get promoted. A realistic workload and quote. As we were talking the other day, how Belgium is moving to 4 days a week. And if that happens here in Spain, be very interesting to see, because I think most of the people I talk to already work more anyway. But then you use those hours here in Spain then to take puentes. So yeah, okay. Investment in employees, personal development. Yeah, that sounds like a good, ideal job. Okay then. It's me, James O'Reilly, and I'm here with you this morning. And I'm going to move over in a second to our word of the day. No, actually, I'll go to word of the day. Come on, I find it quite amusing. Anyway, it's coffee time. I hope you're having a good Friday. It is Friday, TGIF, and I hope you're going to have a nice, relaxing weekend. The weather is getting a bit worse at the moment. I would like to promote an application I have called El Tiempo.es. I use this application or app for the weather, and let me show you. It's really great. It's very useful. I like to check and see what the weather is going to be like every day. But one of the new things, this is El Tiempo, okay? And one of the things on El Tiempo is it has these maps. Let me just show you. It has these maps, and it shows you where the rain is coming and which direction the wind is going. I think it's really fantastic. You can see the map of the UK there, of Britain and Ireland. I think it's fantastic. So you can see the rain. What are we going to get for? Yeah, looks like rain is hitting Madrid. A bit crossing over Spain towards Valencia. Heavy rain in the north. Expected, I suppose, around Galicia and Asturias. The Basque Country is getting hammered by the rain. But rain is what's needed in the south of Spain, so let's see. Yeah, really wonderful application. If you guys have any tips for a great application. One of them was my wife told me she was doing her meeting with colleagues, and she was meeting with some French colleagues, and they told her of an app called Go to Sleep Less Stupid. And what it does is it's in French, but it gives you kind of little bits of kind of, oh, did you know information? Let me see this one. I'll try and translate here. In 2019, the Indian Army was ridiculed where they had uncovered for sure the identity of the footprints of the Yeti. This microphone is a Yeti. So the Indian Army thought that they discovered the tracks of the famous Yeti, the abominable snowman in English, and when they realized that they were actually from a brown bear in the Himalayas, according to scientists. So they were ridiculed because they thought they found it, but it's actually the footprints of a brown bear. So yeah, that's I Sleep Less Stupid is the name of the app. Se coucher moins bête. Go to sleep less stupid. Okay. Another application to waste our time. All right, let's go to our phrasal verb of the day over here. Okay, I just want to... okay, so I just realized that I didn't change. So I'm going to go over to our phrasal verb. Good. Let's go. Pass on is a phrasal verb of the day, to pass on. If you pass something on, you give it to another person after receiving it yourself. You should wear a mask over your mouth so you don't pass on the disease. After taking your piece of cake, pass the plate on to the next person. Yes. So if you can imagine, I have a plate of something with lots of different biscuits, let's say. Biscuits on the plate. I say, here you go, take the plate, take a biscuit and pass the plate on. Pass the plate on to the next person. You can pass on information. If I tell you something, I'll say, if I'm like a director or whoever and I'm talking to managers, I'll say, okay, so this is the situation. Pass it on to the rest of your teams. Okay? Pass on the information. So it can be physical or not. Pass on. Next is saying of the day. I never know these sayings. I'm just learning with you guys. Riches have wings. Money can disappear easily. Money is like a bird with wings. It can fly away if you are not careful. Riches have wings. A more common one you probably have in your language is, let's say, for example, it's kind of, when you get your money at the end of the month, when you get your pay, when you get your salary, not your salary, your wages. Salary is more like how much you earn in the whole year. It's your whole salary. Your wages are what you receive at the end of the month. But when you get your wages and then you have it, and then the tax, we say the tax man takes this, the rent is this, and then we say easy come, easy go. Or that's like if you win something and then somebody takes it because you owe them money. We say easy come, easy go. That's more common. Never heard of riches have wings. I'm going to try and use it. In the case, this saying of the day, actually, if we talk about what's the name of that guy? The FTX guy, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency guy, Friedman, or Feldman, I can't remember his name. He was worth some amount of billions the other day, and now because of the whole crypto crash, his company's worth nothing now, or he's worth nothing. So that would be a perfect example of riches have wings. Black Friday. I want to look and see at some deals in the UK on Black Friday after we do this. Slang of the day. What is it? American or British? American and Australian. Pooped. I'm very tired or exhausted. I'm going to bed early tonight. I'm pooped. Okay, yep, I don't use that. I'm pooped. Our kids hiked about 10 kilometers in the mountains today. No wonder they're pooped. This slang term is typically used in American and Australian English, but it may be used in other variety of English too. Never heard of it. So if you're talking about something, you could say never heard of it. Nunca he oído hablar. Or you could say, if it's a person, you can say never heard of him, never heard of her. The actor, I don't know, Sheila Thompson. Yeah, no, never heard of her, never heard of her, never heard of it, never heard of her, never heard of him. Use that one today. Very common. Right, pooped. No, I don't use it. You can use it if you're exhausted. Hecho polvo. I'm pooped. I'm gonna use it. Why not? I like to try new things. And then okay, we'll look at the idiom of the day. I'm going to look at idioms anyway. Now and then, now and again. Oh, okay. You have to use this. If you do something now and then or now and again, you do it occasionally. Now and again is now and then, now and again. I use it all the time. All the time. It is de vez en cuando, or or from time to time. I rarely use from time to time. Rarely. I always say now and again. Now and then I don't. Um, wow, that was in a song recently. Yeah, you know that song that was really famous about, I know, almost 10 years ago? It was, but you didn't have to cut me off. Yeah, it was, and then now and then the girl comes in, now and then. Anyway, terrible at singing, but that was at the start of the song, now and then. So it means sometimes. Sometimes. From time to time. Now and again. Use that one, now and then, both interchangeable. Now and then might be more American, now and again more English, but to be honest, it's not even noticeable. Use it. Definitely useful. Okay, before I'm going to look at some Black Friday deals now in the UK from the Daily Mail. We're going to be looking at how to say prices, and we're going to be looking at things that might give you an idea of what you can buy and waste your money on today or not. Maybe you've been waiting for these Black Friday sales. So in technology and gadgets, we have the Shark-powered lift-away upright vacuum cleaner, NV620 UKTSB, and this is from Amazon. It's a vacuum cleaner, or in the United Kingdom, you can see it says vacuum cleaner, but normally in the United Kingdom they say Hoover, after the person who invented the first one, I think. Dyson Airwrap Styler Complete, nickel and fuchsia. Nickel and fuchsia are the colors. Nickel is kind of like a silver color. Refurbished. This refurbished Dyson Airwrap uses the Coanda effect to attract your hair to the barrel to create straight styles, waves. Okay, this is for people and their hair. The vacuum cleaner, now with a saving of £161, this Amazon exclusive upright vacuum cleaner, although a tad heavier. A tad means a little bit. A tad, it's just a tad heavier than other models, delivers more power and transitioning from carpets to hard floors efficiently. £158.99, and you save 161. Yeah, that's because the days before Black Friday they put the price up. So then when they put the new price, they can say you're saving 161. But maybe 2 months ago, it was like, it was 160. I'm being sarcastic here, sorry. I'm being showing my age. What is this? All new Echo Dot 5th generation 2022 release. Score 60% off the all new Echo Dot 5th generation. Now $26.99. The voice controlled smart speaker with Alexa can be added to any room in your home, and with a simple command you can ask for music, news, weather updates and more. You can also make calls and control compatible smart home devices including lighting, home security and heating. Cool. Yeah. Be interested to know. I imagine when you buy these type of products, you just become very dependent, and once you have them, you can't live without them. I don't have them, but I can imagine it's pretty cool. My house is where I live is really small anyway. I don't really need to, command much. But I'm not hating. Right, the Fire TV stick with Alexa voice remote includes TV controls, HD streaming device. What's this? Improve your home entertainment this autumn with a huge 44% off the Fire TV stick or remote control. Okay. TV, okay. Okay, what's this? Blink outdoor security camera. Plus the Blink Mini indoor security camera. This bundle, which is like a pack, which is now 58% off, includes a Blink outdoor security camera. So security for your home. Talking to my students the other day, in the UK, normally we don't have bars. If we live on the lower floors, we don't have bars on our windows, like these prison bars. It's very common here in Spain, also in France. So we invest, like you do here in this country, in security systems and security alarms. But just the difference is, just never see bars on people's windows. It's just not. It's just not common. And I'm the last place I rented, we had bars on our windows. I was quite worried about fire, and then one of my students was telling me, yeah, but like often you can open these bars like from inside and so on. Personally, in my experience, I couldn't, but I was walking past some places the other day that were on the street, and I could see that those could be opened. So that was much safer. Moving on then to the right-hand side of our screen, the Echo Auto allows drivers to play music, check the news, and make calls without taking their hands off the wheel or eyes off the road. So this is probably something, if you don't have a system in your car, you can buy this and make your hands-free calls and so on. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And there we see the thumbnails for the different applications. Moving down, the Tefal ActiFry Advance. Lower your energy bills and cook healthier meals with the Tefal ActiFry Advance, now at Aldi for $99.99. That's £50 off, okay? The Tado Wireless Smart Thermostat Wi-Fi Starter Kit V3 Plus. What does this do? Take control of your heating and water when you are not home and see how much energy you are using each day, week and month. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I went to Galicia on holidays, vacation, during the summer. I was talking to the owner of the Airbnb place on the application Airbnb. She said, just let me know when you're at the door and I'll let you in. Okay, to let you in is to open the door for you. So she opened the front door of the apartment through an application. That was pretty cool. I like that. So all these modern gadgets are amazing. So she didn't need to. She could be anywhere in the world, really. She'll be anywhere in the world and just open the front door using an application and allow me to go into the apartment. And then, of course, afterwards I have the keys. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, and what's this? Breadmaster. Morphy Richards Home Baked Breadmaster. These became very popular during the pandemic. The Morphy Richards bread maker allows baking fiends to create all types of loaves. A loaf of bread is the loaf. Here you would have a barra de pan, but the loaf is the big one. Its compact design machine claims to be able to make everything from sourdough to focaccia to jams and marmalades. It's basically a Thermomix. Okay, anything else? Smart plug works with Alexa, certified for humans. What's this? Smart plug to control anything plugged in to using the Alexa app. Is this? I think this is just a giant ad for Alexa. OLED 55-inch smart 4K Ultra D. Okay, how much is it? $949, save £550. Wow. And what's this? A pizza oven. Well, well, well. This portable outdoor pizza oven is which Best Buy, which is a website which is very, very good for looking at how good a product is. It's a very reliable website in the UK. I think in general you have to get a subscription, but very, very, my sister talks about it or raves about it all the time. Says if ever she wants to buy something, she will check on that website first to see what the because you can't really trust Amazon, the reviews, but you can trust Which. Gosney describes it as restaurant grade. Okay, Brill. Brill is brilliant. Okay, very quickly, because I want to get on to the Mario Götze thing. What's this? A mixer, $69.99. A vacuum cleaner, cordless, no wire, cordless, $325. Wow. And the Fire HD tablet, $34.99. Wow. You can now grab a Fire HD tablet for the cheapest price ever on Amazon. Now a huge 61. You can enjoy up to 12 hours of reading. Oh, I'm going to look at that today. Because I'm in the market for a reading device. Vacuum, Echo Dot, Kindle. How much is that? $94. Still expensive. Don't have that money. What are these? Echo Buds. A cheaper alternative to Apple AirPods. The amazing Echo Buds comes with Bose. Oh, take note and have Alexa again. Okay, so what are you guys interested in buying in the sales? Well, it's Black Friday, not the sales. The robot vacuum cleaner. These things are really good, but you have to make sure your house is, I say house for apartment, flat, whatever. I'm just using the generic term. You need to have, if you have everything so it can just go around freely, it's the best. Okay, so that was from the Daily Mail, and then I wanted to go over to the Mario Götze, and I'll just double check and make sure that I have the output organized. And what I'll do is I'll jump over now to the Mario Götze about delegating. Okay, mastering delegating, the art of delegating, telling people how to do things. So how important is the art of delegating to an entrepreneur's success? We're going to talk to Mario Götze. He's a former football player. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to make this bigger, and we're going to listen together.
I have to focus on my child at home, my wife. I have to focus on soccer, and then I have to...
Just to remind you guys, this is about... I'm going to go back to the start. The ex-footballer who's now in business. It's going to be fast English, but we have the subtitles, so don't worry. And we're going to listen for the next few minutes about how he organizes and delegates tasks in his life. Make sure the volume is okay. Yep. Here we go.
I have to focus on my child at home, my wife. I have to focus on soccer, and then I have to maybe, let's say, 10-20% of my time and energy I can use for investment.
On the pitch, Mario Götze achieved every soccer player's greatest dream when he scored the match-winning goal at the 2014 World Cup final. In the years before that famous moment, he gained worldwide acclaim as one of the most coveted talents in the sport. And in the years after that World Cup win, he found even more success, winning multiple titles across multiple countries. But what many don't know is that along the way, he started a second career, becoming an angel investor through the company he founded, Companion M. Here's how German soccer star Mario Götze found his next play. What was your goal when you created Companion M? How did you get the idea to start there?
The idea was just to aggregate all my social media and marketing stuff in the company, hire 1, 2, 3 people for the company, and aggregate everything. Because before that, I did it with an agency, with an agent, and over the years, when I did my first angel investment now 5 years ago, I also added a second pillar for the company.
According to Crunchbase, Mario has 15 companies in his investment portfolio, including Mietz, the app that matches renters with apartments, and Root Global, the company dedicated to reducing emissions in the food industry. And when it comes to the type of companies he works with, Mario says all of his investments fall in either of two broad categories.
One is very athlete related, where I have kind of a passion for it because it's very natural to me as an athlete. And the second pillar is very diverse. This is more like a founder bet, where I try to invest in people and in teams at a very early stage. It can be crypto, Web3, sustainability, deep tech, B2B, SaaS businesses, and so on and so on.
While top athletes have always had the means to invest in businesses, there is a growing number of sports stars these days who are going a step further and building their own venture capital firms. So far, that trend has been most apparent in the US.
I think the big difference is because they started way earlier, because when I look back now, when I see, for example, Kevin Durant, I think is a good example, already started a couple of years ago, and you have a different market. For example, if I compare Germany to the US, it's just totally different, not only from the like understanding of business, but also if you see the economy in general in Europe, it takes more time.
A number of European-based athletes are starting to generate similar headlines, including Lionel Messi, the sport's biggest name. And as Mario Götze becomes more established in that elite club of athlete VCs, he points out 2 keys to being an effective entrepreneur. 1 is knowing which aspects of his business he can and cannot focus on, and 2 is building relationships with a network of people more experienced than him.
It's not easy, to be fair, because I think I have to balance a couple of roles also at home with my wife, and also being a father, which takes also time and energy. Then I have the soccer part, and then I try to be as efficient as possible in an investment case. And the only thing I really try to do more actively is the investment part, like the angel investing and the VC investments, to have a clear focus, because otherwise I don't have the time, the energy or the knowledge to do it. And then I try to build it with trusted people in Germany and also in Europe.
You know, I'm curious, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I try to not think too far, because I want to enjoy also the soccer part right now. I hope to play the next 5, 6, 7 years on a top level. Let's see how it goes and how my body feels. But when I think about the other part of my life, I have seen that Serena Williams, for example, she committed to her VC fund. So I can envision that for me as well. This would be ideal for my time after the career.
Okay, very interesting. VC, which was mentioned there, would be venture capital, and what he's talking about in that video is how he manages and how he delegates specific tasks. And this is interesting because a lot of you have perhaps managerial roles, perhaps, but you're doing too much work. You need to know how to hand over the responsibility, or pass on the responsibility to some of your workers, some of your staff, and so you can focus on the things that you need to focus on, like what Mario was saying in the video. Quite a useful video. I enjoyed it. I hope it wasn't too fast for you. You had the subtitles anyway, and it's good to get used to English that makes you a little bit uncomfortable, but look, you're not going to have an exam at the end. So, and what I like to say is, or what I like to think is, when I'm learning to understand French or Spanish, I don't put pressure on myself. And when you get to the level of 100% of understanding, which is my goal, my aim, I think I'm probably at the moment, I feel I'm at about 80%, 85. But then, of course, when you have lots of people speaking at the same time, it can be stressful and you just want to check out. You want to sit back, maybe not. Practice with listening to me, obviously. Challenge yourself. Try and find some podcasts. I'm going to recommend the podcast from The Economist, which I was listening. I generally listen every day, and I'm going to show you what the app looks like. It's a free podcast. You can get it on any platform that you want, on your Google, on your Spotify, iVoox, whatever platform you can use to listen to programs. And I'll just show you what it looks like if I can bring it up. This is the one I listen to. Okay, it is The Economist, The Intelligence. Underneath you can see I'm listening to a Spanish podcast. It's a popular influencer from Spain who, some people like him, some people don't, but for me, he has a guest on and the two of them are talking, sometimes 2 or 3 guests, and I challenge myself. And that's why I like to listen to that, because like in the last one, for example, there were 3 people who are friends talking at the same time. So it's quite quick, it's quite intense. They're talking over each other and very, very useful in that sense. This one is from The Economist. It's about business. You'll get 3 mini stories a day. Today they will talk about well, I'll tell you what they spoke about yesterday. They spoke about the Ukraine, certain things in Ukraine. They spoke about a very interesting look at the sports footwear industry and the effect somebody like Elon Musk can have. In the case, it was Kanye West, who has a deal with Adidas, or had a deal with Adidas. You can imagine, for example, someone who has a deal with Cristiano Ronaldo. He is an egomaniac. He's very, and like Manchester United, he went and did a crazy interview, and then he was asked, then he left the club. So this kind of relationship with people that can affect your brand. And then there was something about the teenage years. So very good, very well done. It's called The Intelligence, as you can see. The Intelligence. I recommend it. It's got 3 little stories. And what I'll try and do is recommend other ones for you as well. As we go along, this is great for your listening, and you can listen anytime, all free. I'm not going to advertise. And I wish The Economist was giving me some money to advertise, but not yet. It's just something I like to listen to. And like I said, with the Spanish one, I'm just trying to improve my listening. I really do feel more relaxed when I understand what people are saying to me. Don't feel bad if you're surrounded by English for a long time in your life, if you're an older person and you've been learning English and you still don't understand. All you need to do, it's very simple, super simple, is just listen to some podcasts or TV, relax, enjoy yourself, and it will come. And learn your 1 word a day. My 1 word that I learned the other day was when you're on a gun and you're looking through this thing on the gun, like in a game, for example, like Fortnite that my son plays, it's called a sight. And I learned the other day it's called mirilla. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then I can't remember exactly what I learned yesterday, but I would have learned 1 or 2 new words. Even if they seem like useless, they will come in handy at some point. And if you want to reach the top level of English, all these words eventually will be useful to you because they're so flexible and useful in context. That's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. There's a few days off, I believe, coming up soon. So looking forward to those, but I will see you next week. Keep an eye out for the advertisement for what time the class will be at. You can just see on LinkedIn and you'll see that I'm live anyway. Okay, have a great one. All the best.